We want to zero in now on some of the dysfunction we've been watching unfold on Capitol Hill. There are some very senior, high-level House Republicans that are not coming back to Congress after this term, including Mike Green. He's the chair of the Homeland Security Committee, and Cathy McMorris Rodgers. She's the chair of Energy and Commerce. The veteran lawmakers are among nearly a dozen Republicans leaving the chamber. The exits follow a historic year of dysfunction, including the ouster of then House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and the failure of a landmark border bill that would have provided billions in aid to Ukraine and Israel that Speaker Johnson refused to take up. CNN's Melanie Zanona has details on this story. So, Melanie, what are you hearing from House Republicans who've decided that their time on Capitol Hill is up?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of different factors that go into a decision like this. It is a very personal one. Members have cited family reasons. Some members are running for higher office. But one thing that me and my colleague Annie Greer really picked up on when we were reporting this story is that there is a deep level of frustration with just how dysfunctional this House majority has been this session of Congress, from all of the chaotic speaker drama to even just their struggle to pass basic procedural votes on the House floor. Just take a look at what some members told us on the record. Ken Buck, he's one of those retiring members, said, "We're not doing serious things." Carlos Jimenez, who was an ally of Kevin McCarthy, told us, "I thought that some of our members would be smarter." And Steve Womack, a veteran lawmaker, said, "We are fractured." And it's not just the number of Republicans who are retiring. It is really the caliber of the members who are retiring. There are 5 committee chairs alone who are deciding to call it quits. And that includes Cathy McMorris Rodgers. She is the chairwoman of the Energy and Commerce Committee, and she's not even term limited in that post. It's a very powerful position that many members spend their whole careers working to achieve. And then there's Mike Gallagher. He's only 39 years old. He was long seen as a rising star in the GOP, but he announced that he was retiring shortly after he voted against the impeachment of Alejandro Mayorkas, the Homeland Security Secretary. So there's a lot of concern, Boris, right now about what this means for the Republican Party. A lot of these members have a ton of institutional knowledge that they will be taking out the door with them. And there's also concern for that governing wing. And when you have those members leaving, in their place, you have more hardline members like Bob Good. So just a lot of frustration, a lot of concerns about what this means for the GOP right now, Boris.
Yeah, and yet some of those hardline members that you mentioned are actually thrilled about this. They wanted to see new blood in Congress. We'll see how it all turns out in the long term, though. Melanie Zanona on Capitol Hill, thank you so much. We want to bring in senior data reporter Harry Enton for a closer look at this. Harry, walk us through exactly how many people on Capitol Hill are headed to the exits.
Yeah, Boris, Melanie hit on the number of Republicans that are leaving, but there are a ton of Democrats who are also leaving the House. In fact, there are more Democrats who are departing the House of Representatives than Republicans. 25 Democrats, 23 Republicans. And that, to me, is the remarkable thing that's going on here. Look, there are plenty of years when more Republicans retire, a lot of Republicans, and years in which a lot of Democrats retire. But the fact that you're getting a bunch on both sides, that is what's so historically unusual here. In fact, I went back over the last 20 years or so and looked back to see, okay, at this point in Congresses, was there at least 23 folks leaving on both sides of the aisle? Boris, this is the first time it has happened this early since at least 2006. So something is clearly going awry for both sides of the aisle, where a bunch of Democrats and a bunch of Republicans are saying, you know what, forget about it. We don't want to be members of the House anymore.
Well, obviously, for each individual member, there might be different circumstances kind of edging them out the door. But I'm wondering, generally, is there an overarching theme as to why they're leaving?
Yeah, I mean, it's because Congress isn't getting anything done, Boris. I mean, look at the number of bills and resolutions that have been passed on right now through the Congress. It's only been 39. That is a record low at this point in Congresses since 1973. The prior low a decade ago, it was 83. So we're at less than half that level, right? So a lot of people have often complained outside of Washington, Washington doesn't get anything done. Well, that is certainly being the case this time around. And in fact, it's not just that Washington isn't getting anything done. It's that people hate Washington and hate Congress. I mean, what is Congress's approval rating at this point? It's 19%. So they're not doing anything. People hate Congress. That's why they're getting out of there. A lot of them are, Boris.
Harry Enton, thanks so much for walking us through those numbers. Appreciate it.